What's up? Black men need structure and identity to be happy. You are a black man trying to self improve and gain a grounded identity in being a black man. I have a deep dive guide from all the things of learning who to look up to in black history, becoming more financially literate, eating healthier, having a more calisthenics based workout, and also coming together with other black men on a daily basis to self improve and gain that grounded identity with each other. And not only as black men improving as a community, but you as an individual black man being the strongest version of yourself, and me as well. Now, this guide is gonna be the thing that's gonna get us to internalize the concepts of being the strongest version of ourselves and get us in that mentality of being the strongest version of ourselves. At this point, in this day and age, it's required for black people to have a chance that the black man be his strongest version of themselves. So click on the bio section of my YouTube channel and click on that link and internalize that, because it's required for you and me to be the strongest version of ourselves for the black community to have a chance. Now, when we dive into structure and identity, those two things go hand in hand when it comes to black men, because we don't know ourselves. A lot of black men don't know themselves. They don't have an identity really, right? And because we don't have an identity, we don't know what we need, and we don't know what type of structure we're supposed to have. So what does that lead to? That leads to uh being erratic. You know, being in a place where you don't know and you're just gonna do random things that makes you feel some type of way. This is why a lot of dudes go into being a thug or a gangster or a criminal. They jump into anything that makes them feel like they're something or somebody, right? A lot of times those are self-destructive things. And when you have a black man who knows himself, who knows his identity in being a black man, and he likes that, then he knows what he needs, right? And this is where you add in that self-improvement aspect. And that's why in my guide I go into all those aspects of self-improvement and gaining that black identity as a black man. The link for that will be in the bio section of my YouTube channel. Click on that link and internalize that, because I'm telling you that's crucial and that's important for us to be the strongest version of ourselves. And when we start to look at everything, when you have that you have that identity as a black man, and you know who you are as a black man, guess what? Then you can say, "Oh, I know I need to exercise to be happy. I know I have to make a good amount of money to be happy. I know I have to. I know what type of career I want. I know. When you know yourself, you know what you need. You know what you need to be happy, right? And that's why you structure it around self-improvement, prioritizing having good relationships, prioritizing learning black history and learning how powerful the black man is, um learning to control your sexual energy, learning to eat healthier, learning to work out. All those things, that plays into a black man having that structure, and that's going to reinforce him even knowing himself even more and associating himself with a positive outlook on black men. It's a lot of black men out there who they believe what the white man put in their ear. They believe what the white man put in their ear. The white man said y'all was dumb and slow and y'all was criminals and y'all was violent. So guess what? A lot of these black people, they believe the same thing. And those are the more dangerous type of people to the black community, because they're black people, but they have the mentality of the white man. They have the mentality of the oppressor or the enslaver. So that's what puts them in a more dangerous position, because that could infiltrate us. That can destroy us from the inside out. And we over here thinking that, oh, those are just black people. No, it's a lot of black people who don't have the right mentality, and it can destroy their community. It can self-destruct their whole community, right? And that's what causes us to lack so many of these foundational things, because when you don't know yourself, you don't have structure in your community. The black community doesn't have structure. The black community almost isn't even a community right now. It's technically not a community, because we don't come together on a regular basis. We don't agree on anything. Half of the time we're killing each other. The black man is killing another black man, you know, and that's mind-boggling to me, because why are we killing each other? Why is the violence directed towards us? Why are we directing our own? Why are we directing violence towards ourselves? Why wouldn't we direct the violence towards the person who did the most violence to us? You get what I'm saying? So it don't make sense, and it kind of gets me mad because I know videos are not gonna do anything. I know YouTube videos ain't gonna make that much of a difference. They can make a whole bunch of a difference, but if you're not getting up and doing nothing in your community and try to change people's minds in real life, and organizing in real life, it's just a limited amount of what can be done. It's just a limited amount. But obviously, when you internalize stuff, that's the engine for you to go out there and do that. That's why in my guide, it's important for us to internalize all those concepts and to act on those things, because that's what's going to give us the black man the mentality to be the strongest version of himself. The link with that will be in the bio section of my YouTube channel. I swear, it's so important for us to internalize this, man. And I think that the structure part can't happen without the identity part, right? When you don't know yourself, you can't really have much structure, or you can't force yourself to have a lot of structure. You can't implement it yourself. You know, that usually somebody has to come and do that for you, but it's important for you to create your own structure in life, right? A lot of people think, oh, I don't need structure. I'm gonna just do whatever I want. You don't really know yourself if you don't have structure. When you have identity and you know yourself, you know what you need to be happy. And what do black men need to be happy? They need to prioritize eating healthy. They need to exercise on a daily basis. They need to prioritize brotherhood and having the right romantic relationships. They need to prioritize that consistently and make sure that's constantly being developed. They need to learn black history and learn how powerful the black man is. And they also need to become financially literate and learn how to have a work ethic and be a creator and a man that's willing to create something and work for it. You know, that's the things we have to prioritize to be happy, because that's giving us identity and that's giving us a culture where it's prosperous, it's reinforcing positivity, it's reinforcing having a abundant lifestyle. And that's what we really need. But nowadays, because the black man don't know himself, this is why we kill each other. We recognize our brother as our enemy a lot of the times. This is why we self-destruct and we drink alcohol, we smoke weed, we're hypersexual, we're hyper promiscuous. And nowadays it's glorified because guess what? The little kids and the little boys and little girls, they watching the rappers. They looking at the cool black icons, and these are people that are meaningless. Like they're not of any, like they don't have any value to give you. They're only gonna destroy you the more you pay attention to a Nicki Minaj, a Cardi B, a Sexy Red. The more a lot of people like this, man. A lot of people, NBA YoungBoy. The more you look at that, the more you're gonna try to be a thug or emulate a thug or emulate, a promiscuous woman. That's destroying us. We have to look up to black men who are true leaders, and they set structure in order, and they have things in a way where we are positive and we're prosperous and we gain. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.